Collage definitely for me started as a very quick way of getting colour down. I really love block colours, and the quickest way to do that was just to cut out some paper and stick it down. I really like the accidents that can happen with collage and the scraps that you've got from an old piece that then fit perfectly in the new one. I love drawing the eye around the page and balancing the colours and balancing the shapes, and how such a minute difference that even if one shape is a centimetre to the left, it changes the whole balance. I love the idea of distortion and playing with the human body and how we can twist and mould that figure to do whatever we want, and I think that's something that I've just always been, why not play with it? Why keep things too realistic when you can create the impossible? My work combines the art world and the fashion world. I think the industries work best when they are working together. When you're drawing clothes or making art with them, you can do whatever you want. I think there's definitely a sort of unspoken limit in my head for where I'll push that body to. I don't want them to look like broken or like so out of reach or impossible. I want them still to look like just these creatures that can move like us and still carry themselves. But I think the figures I draw can be quite intimidating. I sort of see them as muses for the outfit or the collection that I'm referencing. I want this woman to just be the ideal woman for that outfit. So whether she has got ridiculously long legs or a thick neck, I can design her to fit in those clothes exactly how I want her to. Fashion is just another way of expressing yourself and expressing emotion, and if you're feeling confident or if you're feeling sad, or it's definitely going to come across with the way how you've dressed. And I remember sort of thinking when I was first starting out that, especially coming from a fashion background, I really enjoyed when you would take something that people would consider ugly or not the beauty standard, and then taking that and working with it. So the women that I draw tend to have thicker necks or sticky out ears or like all these things that are not what the classic sort of Western model was, and I really wanted to play with that. Beauty for me is just confidence and this attitude, and I like that the industry is changing and it's a lot more inclusive, and I think that is largely to do with the art world and the creative world and people pushing and like being proud of those things that were considered something that you should be ashamed of. The uniqueness in different people, I think, is the most beautiful thing. I think it's great that no one looks the same, and I think it's such a tragedy when people do try and look like someone else, when you have this possibility to just own like what you've got. And that's, I think, what I try and make the women in my work do, is just be these confident creatures that aren't necessarily beautiful. I wouldn't really call my work beautiful, but they're just being themselves.